Hello and welcome to the Melanated Veteran Podcast. I'm your host, Ms Mesha, and before we begin, the first order of business is to share, like, and subscribe to the Melanated Veteran. We're on almost all major platforms: iTunes, Google Play, iHeart, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, and many more. Don't forget to check out our website at www.themelanatedveteran.com. So today we have two guests. I call him Lenoris. We have Lenoris Dixon and Ty Goudy. Lenoris and I go way back. We actually met on the way to MEPS, military enlisted processing, and ended up being in the same division. I think Lenoris, you were the A-Rock?
Yes.
The A-Rock. He is a motivational speaker, singer, model, actor, author, and host of Norris Notes. Ty is the CEO of Freshman LLC and is Lenoris's partner. Thank you both for being on the podcast. It really, really means a lot to me that y'all both are on here.
No problem at all. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So, let's get started. So, Lenoris, what was your rate in the Navy, and how long were you in?
My rate I was a yeoman second class, E5. I was in for almost 8 years. I did a little over 7.5 and got out.
Okay. And Ty, how long were you in? You were in the Army, correct?
Oh, very, very much so. U.S. Army. I joined right after high school, and I did about 6.5 years. My rank was a sergeant. I was trying to become a warrant officer, but my time expired, so I decided to get out.
Okay. What was your MO?
Food service specialist. I'm from New Orleans, so I guess I can cook a little bit. I was trying to get in the military.
He said just a little bit. Okay. So, what made both of you join the military?
This is Ty. I can speak for myself. Basically, I was in New Orleans, and I had big dreams. I wanted to travel. The only place we went to for the summer vacation was Mississippi. And I'm like, we have so many other states and, countries that I can visit, and I wanted to go to college. So I decided to join the Army. Even though I was in ROTC, Air Force, I decided to go Army because they had a bonus. Hallelujah. But, yeah, so that was my reason. And also just to make my mom proud and make sure that I went to college and just put a smile on her face. So that's my reason.
Okay. Lenoris?
Well, I don't know if I can top that, but my reasoning was more so of as it was kind of like a dare. My oldest brother was supposed to join the Navy, and he got all the way up to the swearing in ceremony and ended up coming back home because he didn't want to do it. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to prove to you that it can be done. Get from around this little small city. There's nothing here but just trouble and, make something of yourself. So it was more so to prove him that it can be done. And also, of course, I want to make my family proud as well. But the number one reason was to prove to him it could be done. Okay. And he should have did it.
Hey, that's my thing. I was like, look, you're going to say that I can't do this? Oh, no. It can be done. I'm going to do it. So I love that. So what was your first thought when you got to boot camp? So, Ty.
I went to Fort Jackson, Relaxing Jackson. Basically, the drill sergeant came on the bus and cussed everybody out, yelling, and I just seen everyone like in a line, pretty much in tears, like people yelling at. I'm like, what is this? My first initial thought was, what the freak did I sign up for? And because I'm a type of person, you can give me an order, but don't talk to me like you don't have no sense, because we're gonna have issues. So I definitely had to be broken into. So my initial thought was just basically, wow, what did I sign up for?
Lenoris.
Well, my first initial thought was, okay, let me get ready to fight, because I'm from the hood, and these people are already screaming and yelling like they saying fighting words. No, we ain't getting down like that. It just looked so staged, but it also looked so real. It was just like, why is that the only thing they can do is yell? And then during the P days, we had P days. For those of you who don't know, I was in the Navy, so we went to Great Lake, Illinois, just outside Chicago, somewhere around there. But so during the P days, they kept you up, and it was just like, I'm gonna get my sleep one way or another. If I have to fight you for my sleep, I'll fight you for my sleep, but I'm gonna get my sleep. And so it was just like a surreal experience.
Yeah. And me, like I said, me and Lenoris, like, we were in boot camp together, and our RDCs, boy, they were something else.
They didn't play.
They sure didn't play. So
I have a question. So how was he in boot camp? Was he fearless, as he say that he is?
I mean, he was pretty fearless. Yeah, I would definitely say that. I mean, he was just like, come on, y'all. We got to do this. Let's hurry up. Let's get this done, because we don't want nobody getting yelled at. We don't want any...
team player. That's
right?
Like.
And boy, he was the A-Rock. He could sing. Oh, my goodness.
Do you recall me having to do push-ups because they wanted me to come up with a cadence, and I'm like, I sing, I don't come up with songs and beats.
Yep, I sure
and
do.
So I had to come up with, I remember, like, they literally made me sing the cadence. You know how people be like, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, and I'm having to sing in the snow while we're marching and stuff. I'm like,
he was getting it.
I was like, who is that? Like, we want that cadence. We want that. And then you had to sing it in a way where, to keep people on beat,
right.
In step. So it was like, that was hard. But yeah.
Right. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, me and you were in A school together.
Yes, we were. We went to Meridian, Mississippi.
Yeah, and I do remember hearing your cadence, and I was like, that's not Lenoris. No. And I turned around and I looked. I was like, yeah, he's here. I had loved it. You definitely made it a lot more interesting, and especially just, your positivity was good. Was great. It was definitely
great
needed.
People like you, because I could not understand for the life of me how you were so calm. Like, I never heard your voice escalate. I never heard you get angry and nothing. I'm like, how is she so calm through this?
I was just like, look, let's hurry up, do what we told. Shut up, don't say nothing. Just let's get through this, because no. And plus, I was, I turned 26 when I was in, so I a lot of them were younger, and I think me and you were around the same age, if I'm not mistaken. I think we were around the same age.
Yes.
And so both of us, I think we were more like, okay, come on now. Like, no playing around. These little youngins, no. That ain't gonna work.
And then I think it was hard, because didn't you have a title too? Weren't you where were you in our division? You were something, wasn't you?
No. They had me doing the I was one of the bathroom, the head cleaners. So I was on the head patrol.
I think it was so it was interesting, because it was like people looking at you. You ain't gonna tell me what to do.
Exactly.
It was just like, yeah, either you do this or you're gonna cause the whole division to have to do push-ups and all this other kind of stuff that you don't want us to do.
Yeah. No.
I'm not gonna tell you how many people tried to fight me, and I'm like, little do they know, like I'm from the hood. I was set it off, but yeah, I didn't want the ass load.
Right?
So.
Be like, don't take my kindness for weakness.
Right.
So you get out of boot camp, and then you finally go to your first command. What were some highs and lows during your military career? Either one of y'all.
Some of my highs were definitely, watching on TV. You say, I want to visit this place or I want to go here, but you never really think that you're going to actually go. Especially how I grew up. Being with different families and things of that nature. You never dream that you can actually do it or that you will actually live it. So when my first duty station was in Italy, and so I spent 3 years there, and like it was so amazing. I never thought that I would experience something like that. I was able to go to Rome while I was there in Spain.
Okay.
So I really enjoyed it. And I learned a little Italian. Of course, with being there 3 years, you have to learn something because most of the stuff is out in town. So you have to speak some kind of Italian in order to know where you're going and what you're trying to get. I did a tour in Afghanistan. I always told myself, if I was going to join the military, I want to make it count. So I either wanted to do Iraq or Afghanistan. So I got lucky enough to go to Afghanistan.
Okay.
And those are some highs. I've met some good people, such as yourself. So those are definitely highs. Lows would definitely be, if I had any lows, it would be adapting to people yelling at you. I'm not accustomed to that because, like, where I'm from, you yell. Those are like fighting words. So I'm not accustomed to people yelling and cursing at you. I'm like, yeah, that's disrespect. So definitely had to get over that. And, just the way, some people treated you.
Right.
Based off on your rank or just based off on who you are in general. Those are some lows. But most of my military career was definitely high.
Okay. Ty?
All right. Like I said, right after high school, I joined, and when I finished boot camp, my first duty station was Germany. I'm from New Orleans. It rains and floods. So for me, I got there. It was dark. It was cold and kind of like gloomy. Like every single day, I'm like, why is it just like this? I'm thinking Germany's supposed to be nice, but I came on a winter month, and someone said, look out the window. I've never seen snow before, so I'm like, is it paper falling? I was but snow was falling, did the whole little, angel thing in the snow and made snowballs. So that was like a high for me. I enjoyed their culture. They're very clean, the food and the people and the experience that I made. I thought Iraq, I went twice in my military career. I thought it was going to be a low, but actually it turned out to be one of the most spiritual times that I've ever had in my life, where I wake up before everyone, on walking on the sand, praying, looking at the sun coming up. So met some amazing people. And then I would say my low, when I first got there, I had a racist NCO. He had 2 white soldiers, and I was supposed to be assigned to his squad, and gave them like time off or awards and little trinkets, and I felt some type of way, but I mean, what could I do? My command was like, just kind of suck it up. We understand what's going on. I'm like, well, just move me. But God wanted me to stay there and kind of endure and learn that you're gonna face certain type of people, and you need to know how to deal with them. So I didn't go to jail. But like I said, just growing pains, and I've learned from that. And like I said, meeting wonderful people. I'm still friends now with a lot of people that I served with over like 17 years now, being friends and close people that that I never would have met just basically staying in New Orleans. So I'm glad that I joined. It was a great experience for myself.
Okay. So y'all get out. Y'all, you both get out. What advice would you give someone who is preparing to get out of the military?
If you know that you're going to get out of the military, make sure that you already start job searching, because it would really benefit you to do that. Make sure that you have everything documented. Anything that has happened to you in the military, make sure it's properly documented. If you have to go to the ER or whatever injury or whatever the case may be, make sure it's properly documented, so when you're getting out, the VA can take care of you and they can know what exactly happened to you, so you can still get the proper treatment and care that you need. And just be mindful that you're back in the civilian lifestyle, so try not to carry too much of the military life into the civilian side. And just remember what you stood for. You were a part of something great. Being in the military, that's part of something great. That's something that you can say that you actually did for your country. So
right, I love that.
I said my advice would be to properly plan. A lot of people get out and it's like a culture shock, like, oh my God, like I didn't know. What you mean they're not paying for housing? And yes, plan and also save. A lot of people think, I'm get out, I'm just going to get my, percentage and whatever, but you have to have a plan, A, B, C, and all the way to Z to make sure that, because you plan for success, but you also plan for the unexpected, because you never know what's going to happen. If you're relocating, have all that stuff bullet and planned out so that you can know, hey, my mindset is this is the goal that I'm trying to reach. So when I get out, a network. A lot of people think that I can just get out and it's going to happen for me. You start talking to people now, hey, I'm 6 months out, you're looking for, a person on the civilian side to come in and be a manager or this, that, and the other. Like, what I have to do to, kind of tell them my resume, so that when the time comes, you can just kind of transition and, you won't have a break. And I mean, I took leave. Now, there's nothing wrong for taking
definitely
a 30-day break to kind of clear your mind, press reset, because things are going to be different. It's not going to be like being in the military. So definitely plan, definitely save, definitely take a little time off, but also stand back up and just hit the ground running.
Right, I agree. Because sometimes you're like, oh yeah, like people think, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get out and everything's gonna be done for me. No, exactly. No. It does not work like that. So both of you finally get out. Tell me a little bit about how I kind of want to know, like, how you guys met and how you started your brand, Freshman LLC.
Well, I'll let Lenoris talk on how we met, and then I'll speak on the business aspect.
Okay.
We have two different stories on how we met, but they all come together.
I have the radio edit. We're going to get that one first.
So, social media. We met through social media. At the time, I was a credit union examiner, and he was working on Robins Air Force Base, which he still is.
Okay.
And I was just in the vicinity of this area, so ended up, hey, let's meet up, or whatever the case may be. We talked for a little bit though. I think it was a couple of days before that, and I was like, well, I'm in town, let's meet up. We didn't end up meeting up. The next weekend afterwards, we ended up meeting up in Atlanta. Talked to each other, conversated, ended up going to the mall, walked around the mall, still talking, looking, observing, didn't buy anything. And then finally on our way out, we went to the Cheesecake Factory, and he didn't like cheesecake at the time. And I was like, well, I'm going to make you like it today.
Oh, so, okay.
I ordered red velvet cheesecake, and he enjoyed it. We both enjoyed it. And, the rest is history. That's how we met. Okay. And I'll let him tell you about the rest of it.
Definitely a transition, like you were speaking about getting out. But yeah, I had many jobs upon getting out, but I came to Freshman about 3 years ago. I just wanted something that, because I won't say closeted. I wasn't, how can I say, all the way out, or I haven't come out yet. I have two sons now, 13 and 11. So I know a lot of people that's been through abusive relationships. People that were suffering depression about being gay, or they couldn't talk to anyone, and they didn't have a real place to kind of just relax and kind of clear their mind. So 1 year around pretty much this time 3 years ago, I was like, I want to do something that bring men of like-mindedness together. And the first night is Friday, so basically it's kind of like a meet and greet pajama jam, where you come in, you kind of meeting people. Because Saturday and Sunday is going to be serious talk. We wake up with table discussions talking about everything, ranging from molestation, violence, and it's kind of like a closed session. So no phone, no recordings. This is a vulnerable, safe space where we had tissue passed around. Oh my God, like the entire time people were breaking down, but also people were saying that, hey, I've been through that too. So it was very relatable. People were very vulnerable, but also got the healing that they needed. We did group activities. We had discussion. We had guest speakers, and pillow talk, where you talk about if you haven't made, you want to make, you're single, the reasons why. We also talked about yes, you're gay, but you don't just have to let that be your title. So we spoke about different careers and how to get your finances together. And Sunday was the Big Brother brunch, and like we had suggestions on ways to make it better. And then each year just kind of grew. Unfortunately, this year we had to press pause because of the Rona, but it's definitely been like a baby, for me. It's just something that was in kind of like a dream in my mind. Now it's like a reality. So and then this year, Norris pretty much surprised the heck out of me. He turned it into an LLC, and I broke down. He presented this big plaque, and just an amazing partner and a person that supports me 1,000%. And I support him as well. So last year, it was his first year, and that he attended, and so I'll let him tell you about his experience.
Right. Okay.
Yes. It's definitely a great investment. I saw his passion for it when I attended last year. Again, like, I wouldn't say I'm frugal, but I like my money to be well spent. So last year, when he was telling me the ideas and everything, what he wanted and things of that nature, I was like, okay, well, what can I do to help? And he's a very he's the type of person where I'll do it, I'll do it. And I'm like, no, we'll do it. So I did what he would allow me to do, because he wanted to do everything by himself, because that's his baby. So I did what he allowed me to do, and supported him, and it was amazing. I love to sing, so we had karaoke at the Pajama Jam on Friday night. Everybody was singing songs and having a good time, and like, it just was like a surreal experience. I have never attended a conference or a gathering to that nature where it's so inviting and so positive and just so breathtaking, and just the atmosphere was so enriching, and it was just it allows you to be you,
right?
Without any judgment, without any criticism, without anybody trying to make you belittle you or make you feel less than what you are.
Because we're all humans. At the end of the day, we're all people. We're all humans.
Right.
And I love that. And I have noticed that you guys both are constantly giving each other praises. And I love the fact that you guys have, is it called Tynoris? I think it's called Tynoris.
Tyrus. We kind of chopped it up, Ty and Riz, but yeah, Tyrus.
He said we chop it up. He his first three letters are TYR, and my last three letters are RIS. So we both got half and half.
Half and half. I love it. I love it. So, what now? I want to talk about like what advice would you give somebody who is scared to come out to friends and family?
One, I would say, do your research. Find you someone who has already came out, and someone who can be there to support you.
Right.
Because one, your family, friends might not react the way that you want them to. You might lose some of them. Some of them might be like they don't support you, this, that, and other. And you have to be okay with you, because you have to be your authentic self. You can't continue to hide who you are and what you are. If you want to be happy, part of being happy is being you. And so I would say make sure you have somebody in your corner who have already experienced that and been through that. Because if you're trying to do it by yourself, it's going to be hard, very hard.
Right.
And two, I would say, give people time. They might not accept you right away, but later on down the line, they may realize, hey, I'm missing out on this person. This person was cool. This person really was there for me, loved me. So why am I judging this person? Why am I doing this to this person? They might come around, and then even if they don't, that's okay too. Another advice I would give them would be open to love and to be loved. Don't set yourself up where you feel like, oh, okay, well, this is what I want.
Right.
You have to experience the lifestyle first before you can say what you want. And don't be so hard on yourself. That's the only advice I can give. Just make sure you're not hard on yourself, because it will really put you in a position where you're depressed. You feel like you're all alone and just lonely, and just feel like you're just, and this is from me talking from experience, like you don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, just make sure that you love you for who you are and stay true to you. And then the rest will fall into place.
I love it.
Well, I can't follow that. Basically, you took everything I was going to say. I would say timing and self-love. Like he was speaking about, for some people, they want to wait, like, especially for myself, I have kids. You may want to wait for a certain period of time, but the self-love comes in where you should feel and know that God didn't make a mistake. You should feel that you're worthy enough, like he was speaking about, to be loved. And a lot of people think that they are in love or experienced it, but it can blow your mind when you really tap into or meet that person that you consider your soulmate, and it can change your life forever. So know that, yes, it's going to be challenging, but you have to live your life as who you truly are, because for me, I can speak for myself. I got tired of living behind a mask. I was preaching, praise dancing, a father. I was married at the time, and it just become like I was suffocating. And I wanted people to love me for me. And I kind of stopped one day here recently, pretty much last year, and I seen everyone else living their dream, living their authentic self, but it's almost like I had to hide who I was for everyone else to be happy. And I said, I'm no longer allowing my joy, my happiness, my peace to be, sacrificed or compromised just to make someone else happy. I will be me. If you can agree with that, hey. If not, then it is what it was. So know that you are loved. God loves you, and like he said, find a support team and system that will build you up, lift you up, and you'll be just fine. Trust me. We're speaking from the other side, so it's possible.
Okay. I love that. Goodness. I love that. Oh, goodness. So being out now, and now with the fresh Freshman LLC, and Norris Notes, which I'm still waiting for Norris Notes to come through. Just
Please
saying.
tell them, ask them one more time.
I'm just saying, I'm waiting for Norris Notes to come back.
Wow.
What are there any skills or any things that you use that you still use from the military, as far as with your business and just in life in general?
This is Ty. Speaking for me, I would say just pretty much everything. Punctuality, your discipline. You have to have the ability to get up, to speak, to lead, to coordinate and plan. So I would say everything that I've learned, it translates and crosses over into the civilian life, but not as far, not so down your throat. It's kind of more marinated to say, hey, these are the skills that I have, and now you kind of pick and choose what you want to use, but then add your own flavor. Whereas in the military, this is what you're going to do, and this is how we want it. You can say, wait a minute, I achieve the skills, and now I can use them for my advantage and how I would want them to be used, and treat people how I want to be treated, but in a maybe like a medium mellow way. So I say I still use what I have. He can tell you I kind of run the house like this, but it's out of love. This is what, because once it's in you, it's in you. You can try to lead and trying to take out files from the brain and memories, but they're there, and the best thing that you can do for yourself is just kind of maintain. Now I'm out. How can I use what I've learned to work for me? What's going on today?
I agree.
Well, he took everything I was going to say. But
please.
I will add to it. Don't be afraid of failure. Definitely, it's one thing military taught me, that you don't set yourself up for failure, but you set yourself up for success. But don't be afraid if you fail. When we were doing the PT test, we set ourselves up to pass the PT test, but sometimes we might just have an off day. Don't let that off day stop you from achieving your success. Motivate yourself, even if it's just you motivating you. You know what your dreams are, you know what your goals are, you know what you're trying to do. So you have to push yourself and motivate yourself. It doesn't matter if you have one follower, it don't matter if you have 10,000 followers. The only person that matters is you, because you bring that to the platform. Whether you're doing motivational speaking, people are gonna buy into you based off on what you bring, what you present to them. So if you're trying to be a motivational speaker and you're just dry and there's no laughter, there's just all seriousness, and just people aren't gonna buy into that. But if they see, okay, well, this person is just like me. This person has trials, tribulations. They have had failures. They went through certain situations just like me. So they can teach me or show me how to get through certain things. So definitely, I would say the military, what military brought in was the motivation. I was already motivated prior to the military because I was a correctional officer. But the military upped it, tremendously. So definitely, keep that motivation. No matter if you fall down, you can fall down 10 times as long as you get back up 11.
Come on, Jims. Both y'all. Come on, Jims. I love this.
Keep yourself motivated, keep yourself encouraged, and keep yourself fighting. You have to stay in the fight. You have to keep fighting.
You do.
Don't quit. Don't give up, because it's hard, because you're being tested. Because, in order for a butterfly to form, it has to go through a cocoon stage. So, there's different levels, different stages that you have to go through. So when you reach the top, you can continue on going up top and not falling all the way to the bottom. You might fall down a notch, but you don't want to go all the way completely back to the bottom from where you originally started from. And start all the way back over. So just accept the failures, just accept that you made a mistake, or you did this, that, and another, and keep it moving.
All right. Keep it pushing. I love this. I love it. So, before we wrap up, tell everyone how they can find you both.
I'm simple. I don't have that many handles. That's what they call it on social media, handles. I don't have that many. You can reach me on IG. It's Norris Notes at Norris Notes. NORISNOTES. That's simple.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on Facebook. You can find me with my first name, Lenoris Dixon, or you can put in Mr. Prove Me Wrong. Don't joke on the name. That was back in the days, and I just thought, I was, yeah. So yeah, at Mr. Prove Me. At Mr. Prove Me Wrong on Facebook, and I have Snapchat, but I'm not active on Snapchat like that. I only got one follower or friend, and that's my partner. So yeah, Snapchat, you won't see me on that often.
Okay.
For myself, on Facebook is Ty. My last name Goudy, Goudy, and on Instagram is Sir Ty Pics. That's SIRTYPICS, and yeah, that's pretty much it for me. This was very, very nice. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm thankful. Like, I'm just I have to thank you both for being on here, because I knew both of you had amazing stories, and I knew both of you were trying to do good things for the community, and so I'm just happy. I'm proud of you guys, and I'm keep doing what you're doing.
Keep, this podcast.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna make me cry. Keep doing what you're doing.
Well, we're proud of you too with the podcast and everything that you are doing to highlight veterans, military personnel, and just people in general that's going through life situations.
Most definitely.
So we pray much success for this podcast, that it will go globally, internationally, all across the world, countries, everywhere.
Claim it. Put it out there.
Yes, we appreciate you and the time that you take to interview us as veterans and just everyday, ordinary people. Also, he forgot to mention social media on Facebook, Freshman LLC, and also on Instagram it's Freshman_LLC.
Okay.
And then if you want to follow us as a couple on Instagram, we have Tyris, TYRIS_Goudy, GOUDY.
Okay. So that's where you can find them. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at The Melanated Veteran. And check out my website at www.themelanatedveteran.com. I'm your host, Ms Mesha, signing off, saying embrace what makes you, you.